Hello and welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome to We Stand Together Distance Learning.
Distance learning.
These are the Zoom sessions.
We're on the Zoom.
The Zoom, if you will.
You may know us from podcasts or live shows, but we're also on the Zoom. We're everywhere. We're the biggest stars in the world.
Because we are smart people, and these are
Hmm.
dumb topics. On
Mm-hmm.
these Zoom sessions, we are going to be educating you, our viewers, about a specific niche portion of popular culture because we are the pop culture professors.
Mm-hmm. It was the topics that got small. We are the biggest professors of pop culture of all.
Now, this week, we kept circling around one woman. Her name is Patti LuPone, and she has a memoir called Patti LuPone, a Memoir. And we dug
First
in.
idea is best when it comes to titles.
Absolutely correct. Now, you might recognize us from this photo here with our book club, who read Patti LuPone, a memoir.
Mm-hmm.
She also had a TV show drop this week on Netflix called Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood. And she
Mm-hmm.
also is back in the press. Look at her there on New York Post. How she's the biggest trash talker in Hollywood.
Yes, but she's in fact really a New York celebrity. And New York celebrities are booming these days with the quarantine, the shelter in place. People are looking at what's going on with the New York celebrities.
Yes,
And
and this is the
Patty is our captain.
Yes, Patty showed us her basement during a live stream with Rosie O'Donnell, and now her basement and her are quite internet famous.
She has a jukebox in her basement, like the richest woman in the cul-de-sac.
She is, and she does. Now, all of this time spent meditating on the Patti LuPone has brought us to today's lesson, which is Patti LuPone. Lessons learned from a flannel-mouthed actress.
She calls herself flannel-mouthed for her interesting pronunciation and emphasis.
Which I must take a moment to just pause
Yeah.
and say that I do have the credentials to be lecturing on this topic of Patti LuPone because I once saw her perform live in Sweeney Todd on Broadway where she played a tuba and we took a photo together. Look at us. We're so young. We're so youthful.
I saw her in Gypsy. I don't have a picture. With Laura Benanti and Boyd Gaines. I don't
Boy,
know why Howard. It's not. It's Boyd Gaines.
what
Tony
is
Award winner.
what is a name other than whatever I'm saying to you in a moment?
Thank you.
Now, we have compiled 5 lessons that we've learned from meditating on Patti LuPone for the last week. And the first lesson is articulation is vital.
Mm-hmm.
And we would like to share with you some brief warm up exercises so that you
Yes.
too can avoid being a flannel mouthed actress.
Because some of you may be sheltering in place alone. You're not talking to people a lot. You need to warm that voice up.
Yes, so simply begin with an inhale and begin to hum as you are exhaling all of your ale. So, hmm. Repeat this 5 times and you will be warm. Now, another thing you might need to do is some tongue twisters, some champagne for the tongue, if you will. So, we're going to give a brief demonstration of a tongue twister. He thrusts his fist
It's
against
against
the posts.
and still insist.
He sees the ghost.
A ghost.
The ghost.
Perfect.
I feel warm. Do you feel warm?
I feel warm.
Then
I'm
let's
ready
move
for
on.
more lessons.
Next lesson. Lesson number 2.
Always someone else to blame for your failure.
Mm-hmm.
Look around the room. Those who gave you the job, those who replaced you, that is their fault.
Mm-hmm.
your ex-boyfriend
It's
in
always
particular.
somehow his fault. Yes, it is never your
And
fault.
it could be Meryl Streep's fault, even if you've never met her.
Oh, absolutely. I've never met Meryl, but I blame 90% of my failures on that woman.
Look at her. She's drinking in a jiff.
Ugh, how dare she?
Unseemly.
Unseemly. So just remember, no matter what you do, it's someone else's fault. Lesson number 3.
Always call your agent.
You
Okay,
simply
that's why they're
must.
there.
Yes. Now, in reading Patti LuPone's memoir, it has become abundantly clear that she often, at the most pivotal moments, forgets that she has representation.
And she does. She's Patti LuPone, okay? She's
Make
not
sure.
non-union. She's not unrepped. She's not doing showcases, trying to find a manager.
No, 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 no. So, when in doubt, call your agent. Make sure they're number one on your speed dial, folks. You don't want to be screwed out of millions of dollars.
Absolutely not. You don't want to leave London in debt after starring as Fantine in Les Mis.
To leave London in debt after being a star, something has gone wrong.
Learn from Patti. Call your agent.
Learn from Patti as we have. Now, the fourth and quite possibly the most important lesson that we've learned this week is
The
number.
most relatable part.
Mm-hmm. Kevin Kline has always and will always be hot. Let's take a stroll down memory lane, shall we?
Great look. Very tall.
Hmm.
Oh,
Ooh.
having fun. Ooh, Robber Bridegroom. A great show.
We don't know
Just
where
hanging
this.
with
Oh, a fantabulous performance.
in
Oh,
Winning for Present Laughter. A fabulous play.
and then soap dish. Oh, in and out. I'm not sure where this was taken or why, but look how dashing he is. And even playing the dad in Beauty and the Beast, he's still handsome. He's a handsome man. He's hot. He's
Well,
hot.
Jackson probably requested.
For anyone watching this unaware, Kevin Kline and Patti LuPone dated in graduate school.
On and off for 7 years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he sent her a note before the premiere of Evita that says, inevitable. It was a little confusing, honestly. You have to see it in writing, and even then, a little weird.
Little strange. This Norma Desmond was a bit perplexed.
This Noah Desmond is well.
Because if you haven't caught on, we're both Norma Desmonds. Important, if we haven't pointed that out by
There's
now.
often two.
Because one person playing a role is just never enough. Alright, which brings us to lesson 5, and this is perhaps the greatest lesson anyone can learn from studying Patti LuPone. And it's that artists don't always love their art like you do.
This is a hard lesson and one that I fully haven't incorporated in my soul. I have in my brain, but not my soul.
Yes, and of course we're talking specifically about the TV show Life Goes On. Oh,
If you like This Is Us, you won't after watching Life Goes On. It's far superior.
yes. Life Goes On walked so that This Is Us could run. Life Goes Us was a family story of the late 80s and early 90s. It's where we learned about how we could all cope with challenging things like AIDS and not getting the part. And what were other big plot points?
Well, they were a blended family. You see,
Mhm.
Paige in these pictures was the daughter of a previous marriage of the father. So they had to incorporate and they had to make that work.
Yeah.
And Patti really enjoyed the first actress that played Paige, who you can see below, and never mentioned the other actress that played Paige for 3 seasons.
Yes. Uh, in case you haven't read Patti LuPone's book, she really hated the man who played her husband. Liked Kelly Martin, though seemed a bit bitter that the show really became about Kelly and Chadlow. Seemed to
Yeah.
like her young son, who played by Chris Burke, the character of Corky. I personally love this show tremendously, and am very sad it's not available to stream.
I'm sad there's not an oral history of this.
We
I would
might
read that in a second.
we might need to do the oral history.
The
Also,
finale takes place in a jump to the future where they are all wearing like Star Trek-y things.
ooh. All
That's
I know is that I would love to play Libby Thatcher in a reboot.
I think you would be wonderful, as would I. We could be two Libby
Ooh, Libby
Thatchers.
Thatchers! I love it. Well, these were just some quick lessons learned from Patti LuPone. We love to we love to be absorbed in the world that is Patty.
Yes, we are pop culture professors, but we were students, apprentices, mentees while reading Patti LuPone, a memoir. We thank our book club who helped us study.
Yes. If you're not in a book club, join ours. Hit us up. You can find us on all the social platforms. We're on the Instagram, the Twitter, we're on the TikTok, we're on the
TikTok.
Gmail.
Jamal.
Jamal, if you will. But hit us up. Let us know what lessons you would like to learn with us on our distance learning platform. Uh, yes.
Yes. Well, now it's time for our close up. So we must go.
Goodbye, Stans. Goodbye.